Alright, welcome back to my channel. Now, today's video is just going to be an introduction video. Probably already done a couple of shorts on this car, but here's my new car. New to the family. It's a 2001 Audi TT 225. So it has the AMU 1.8 turbo pushing out 225. Obviously, that's in the fucking name. It also has a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's quattro Haldex all-wheel drive. So, just doing a bunch of preventive maintenance and also some much-needed maintenance and repairs to this car because it was not in great condition. I bought the car for $3,900. Has 122,000 miles on the clock. And it had some issues when I went to see it. But that's the reason why I bought the car, because it was cheap and I like working on shit. So, like I said, got the transmission out. I just finished cleaning it. It was dirty. The exterior and the inside the bell housing where the clutch lives. Done a few other repairs, fixed some leaks and shit. Got a new coolant bottle. And I bought this new Audi coolant cap. Looks a lot better than this blue shit. So, alright, I guess I'll do a little bit of story time here. When I bought the car, audible clicks. I like my audible clicks. Anyways, so I'm over here in Katy, Texas. Car was located off of Lake Conroe, so it was a drive. Went over there, take a look at it, and right away it had some issues. Even the owner even told me that there were some issues. But turned the car on, it was idling poor, plugged in VCDS, and it gave me two major codes. One was for the secondary air injection, and then another one was a boost leak. Well, not a boost leak, but a vacuum leak code. Pretty simple, right? The other issue that the car had that I noticed right away is that the transmission, whenever I would try to get into gear, when the car was off, it would go into all gears, no problem. But when the car was on, push the clutch in, and I would try to get into all the gears, it would struggle. I had to force it to get into first and reverse to test drive the car. But when the car was going, I was able to get into all the gears just fine. It was just whenever I would come to a stop and I would try to put it in first, sometimes it would go in just fine, no issues. Other times it would, struggle to get in. But I made it home, and that's when I found another major issue. The whole way the car, other than, the poor idle and then, getting into gear issues, the car rode fine. Get home, park it in the driveway. Now, this car is for my son. He's 16. This is going to be his first car. So I got home. Everybody came out to take a look at the car. And I had the car on idling. When everybody was walking around taking a look at the car started to overheat. Not horribly, but the gauge went up to like the 3/4 temp. It started to overheat. I popped the hood and I didn't hear any of the fans turn on. I turned the AC on, and then the fans kicked on, and then the coolant temps went down. So I figured there was something wrong with either like the coolant temp sensor or the fan control module, which is somewhere down here, or the fan control switch. And I've replaced all of them, and it's still doing it. So next step is fixing the fans. Those were the three main issues that I found when I bought the car. The vacuum leak, one of the hoses up here had a crack, so it was leaking. Fixed that immediately. Not only did it immediately fix the vacuum leak, but another thing that I didn't notice when I was driving the car, when I would go partial throttle or full throttle and let off, I didn't hear the diverter valve, blowing off. So once I fixed that vacuum leak, it fixed the idle, and then the diverter valve, started working properly. And I'll insert clips here, maybe. And moving on to the secondary air injection. That solenoid is down here. So it's kind of hard finding these OEM or anything like that. So I put the part number in eBay and came across this $20 solenoid, and it worked just fine. So replace that. Then the secondary injection pump started working how it should, and then that led to the next problems, which is the ECU threw a code for the catalytic converter. Now this car was modified as a full CTS turbo exhaust with a high flow cat. Came with these SolarWorks coilovers, which unfortunately need to be replaced because they are past their life, and a few other things. So yeah, once I fixed that secondary injection, then the code for the catalytic converter came on. So now I have a spacer on it, and we'll see how it goes once we get the car back together. I don't want to delete anything because this car is going to be for a teenager that eventually will be going to college and is going to be broke as fuck. So I don't want to delete anything and then have him worry about paying the inspectors to look the other way, because it ain't cheap. Prices have gone up on everything. We might bump up the boost with a like stage 1 or stage 2 tune, but we're gonna keep all the evap and regulation bullshit on this car until he's 18 and he can figure it out on his own. It has its issues, but then again, it's a fucking 20 plus year old car, so everything's gonna start breaking down with time and heat. That's one of the reasons why this car had vacuum leaks, because the heat kills all these little bullshit rubber ass hoses. Anyways, there's more to it, more things that are being done to it, but yeah, I guess this will be the introductory video for this car. Leather seats, whatever, right? I think they only came with leather seats, or at least here in the US. I had some aftermarket tail lights and headlights, which were corny as fuck, but here's the interior. Leather seats are cracked, obviously. They're gonna crack and shit with time and heat. They try to black out the interior, and they did a poor job of doing the headliner, so I'm gonna have to redo that. Stock radio, aftermarket shift knob. So it has some mods, but yeah, this is like I said, it's a nice little car. It's a car that I've wanted for years. My best friend had one, but he had the 180 version with a 5-speed all-wheel drive, and I love that car. It was nice, light, quick for what it was. But I always wanted the 225 version, and I got it, you know. Next up, though, I mean, it's not next up, but one of the cars that I really want to get, and now that, you know, there's a 25-year rule to bring cars into the US, and a lot of cars are becoming available now to be able to bring over. A lot of European hot hatches that I would love to fucking bring over, but one of them that I'm definitely gonna try my hardest to get is an 8L Audi S3, which is basically the same chassis as this and the Mark IV GTI. But it's similar to this car because it has the 225 engine, 6-speed manual, and then the Howlex all-wheel drive. So that's my dream car. I really love how they look, and I think this combination with engine and drivetrain is probably the best to have. And unfortunately, we didn't get any of that over here, but whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna cut the video now, but definitely stay tuned to see what else we do with this car, any other fixes and upgrades. Here's the ECS stage 3 or 4 clutch, which was more than enough for this fucking stock power that this car was making. So we're gonna go to I think a stage 1 that I bought off of eBay. So I'll be doing a review on that. Oh, and that's one of the reasons why the transmission is out. Completely fucking forgot about that. It's not going into gear. Readjusted the shift linkage plenty of times. I've bled the master cylinder and the clutch slave cylinder plenty of times to no avail. So the next probable cause is either the actual clutch slave cylinder that lives inside the transmission, right? It bolts up to here, and then the little fucking nipple pops out this way. So that probably failed, and or the actual pressure plate failed on the clutch. Highly doubt there's anything wrong with the actual gear synchros, because once it's going, it goes through gears fine, and then like I said, half the time it goes into gear with no fucking problem. So it could be a clutch issue at this point. And we're going to stage 1 because it's going to be a first-time driver's car. You don't need to have no fucking stage 3 clutch. As soon as you let off the clutch, it wants to fucking go. So it's a nice clutch, but not for a beginner. And this is going to go into the GTI most likely. I just need to get a O2M 6-speed for that car because it has the O2J in that transmission. It sucks. I put in a TDI trans to lower the RPMs at highway speeds, and it's great, but it sucks trying to do any roll activities. Because the gearing just sucks. But anyways, this is a new car. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm going to post more videos on this car. But yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever. This is an impromptu video that I decided to make. So later.